Welcome back, everyone, to the third episode of High Seas Hustlin. If you're new here, you might want to check out the first two episodes to see how those trips turned out. There's been some highs, some lows, and a whole lot of lessons learned along the way. As always, in this series, I'll show you how I got on the cruise, what my goals were going in, how the casino treated me, and what comps I ended up with. Now, I'll be honest up front. This wasn't a winning cruise for me, but compared to what I would have spent booking this trip the normal way, it still ended up being a pretty good deal. That's the beauty of casino comps and exactly why I keep chasing them. Let's dive in. This trip was a 5-night sailing out of Galveston on the Mariner of the Seas. I booked it using one of the promotional offers sitting in my Club Royale queue. Now, like I usually do, I had already booked an open reservation using the next cruise option in the app during my last trip. That made it easy to call Club Royale and lock this one in. The result? A balcony stateroom plus $50 onboard credit. On top of that, I like to stack perks when I can. I always use my Royal Caribbean Visa card for cruise purchases, and I had enough points banked to redeem another $250 in onboard credit. That brought my total OBC for this cruise up to $300. Not bad for just making my usual spend work a little harder for me. This was actually kind of a last-minute booking. Some friends of ours asked if we'd be interested in joining them, and since our calendar was open, we thought, why not? Here's the kicker, though. My wife had a better offer sitting in her account than our friends did, so we actually booked their cabin using her comp offer. If you'd like a video on how you can do this too, let me know down in the comments. It's a neat little trick to know. Now, because I knew we'd be spending a lot of time hanging out with friends instead of grinding away in the casino, my goal for this trip wasn't to crush the tables. Instead, I just wanted to earn a decent number of points to maintain the level of offers I usually get. So with that in mind, let's jump into the day-by-day breakdown. One of the couples we were traveling with had never cruised before, so day one was all about giving them the full experience. We hit activities, shows, the sail-away party, and of course gave them a quick casino tour so they knew what to expect. But as for actual gambling, I didn't place a single bet that first night. $0 in play. I figured easing into it wasn't such a bad thing. Alright, now the fun begins. On day two, my wife and I both dipped into the casino for some play. We each started with $100 on slots, and surprisingly, that money stretched out for about an hour. I managed to rack up 42 points in that time. She stuck with the slots, but I wandered over to the craps table. My strategy was a hybrid mix of dark side betting with some place bets and field bets sprinkled in. My average starting bet was around $100 per roll, pressing my place bets after collecting a couple wins. That first craps session ran about an hour and a half, and I walked away up $180 and with another 99 points on the board. Pretty solid start. Later that night, after dinner, I headed back for more. First stop, Roulette. I played about an hour at $75 per spin. The result? Down $200, but I added another 190 points. I finished the night back at the craps table with the same hybrid system. This session lasted about 2 hours, but the dice weren't on my side. I dropped another $350. The upside? Another 131 points. So by the end of day two, I was down $470 overall, but sitting on 462 points. Not terrible, but not ideal either. Day three took us to Costa Maya, so the casino was closed all day until the ship left port. After dinner, I snuck in for a short craps session. Honestly, I wish I hadn't. Less than an hour of play, and I managed to torch $450. Ouch. My point total crept up to 543, but that was a painful session. Day four was another port stop, and our schedule was packed with shows and activities. I only found a small window for casino time, so I decided to switch things up and try video poker. About an hour and a half of play later, I was down $100, but had earned 70 more points. My total was now 613 points for the trip. Day 5 was our last shot at the casino, and with the other couples taking it easy, I had some time to myself. Pre-dinner, I headed back to the craps table, sticking with my $100 average bet size but tweaking the strategy slightly. After about an hour and a half, I was down another $200, though I added 151 points. After dinner, I wanted to push my points over the 800 mark, so I returned to video poker. In less than an hour, I earned 71 more points, and this time, I actually left up $65. A nice little silver lining to close things out. So let's tally things up. Over the course of this 5-night cruise, I logged about 10.5 hours of casino play. Total loss, $1,155. Total points earned, 824. Average cost per point, about $1.40. That's higher than my usual average of 75 cents per point, but still an improvement over my last cruise. Now, when you factor in the cost of the cruise itself, it starts to look better. My balcony stateroom comped offer was just over $400. Combine that with my $1,155 loss, and my trip cost totaled just under $1,600. But don't forget about the additional $300 I had in onboard credit, which technically brings the total to less than $1,300. When I priced out this same cruise without an offer, it came out to a little over $1,600. So technically, I saved a couple $100. Not a huge amount, but hey, a win is a win, right? Before disembarking, I locked in another next cruise booking through the app, $200 deposit for an open reservation. That lets me attach any future casino comp I want to it. And here's a little bonus. Even though I only earned 824 points this trip, the casino host gave me the 1,500 point instant certificate offer. She explained that for table game players, the point tracking isn't as precise as it is for slots and video poker, so they'll often bump you up. So right now, I've got a 2,000 point offer, a 1,500 point offer, and a handful of other offers waiting for me in Club Royale. Plus, I've got 2 open reservations sitting there ready to apply them to. Not sure yet which one I'll book, especially since we already have 3 more cruises lined up in the next 3 months. But that's a pretty good problem to have. So that's episode 3 of High Seas Hustlin'. This trip showed once again that even with moderate to heavy casino losses, these comped offers can still make cruising more affordable, and usually much better than paying the full fare outright. And definitely more fun. If you're interested in learning more about Royal Caribbean's Club Royale or Princess's casino program, I've got videos on both of those. And up next, I'll be covering my first Carnival casino cruise, breaking down their system and, of course, how I did. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for future episodes, and drop any questions you have in the comments. I'm always happy to share more details. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.